If you see any of my One Piece videos and journey to catch up to it, thanks. It's much appreciated. And secondly, the job has been done. I'm caught up to the One Piece anime and I got a couple things to say about it first. As far as Wano goes, I had a mixed experience. I read parts of it and watched it as well because it's a very long arc and the pacing in the anime was not for me at all. Although the animation of certain fights were incredible, especially Zoro versus King, that was gas. That was one of the best fights I've seen in a while, especially for One Piece standards. Which I have to say, for an arc that took 4 years to finish, you could have ended this in 2 years because half of the stuff in this arc I just did not really care for after a while. Just to get the bad parts I didn't care for out of the way. The whole time travel thing and the fruit that requires that, I didn't like it much at all or care for it. With Kinemon and his wife and all of that, I'm good on that. But even then, he never even met up with his wife at the end of the arc. So it's like, what did we do with that? Big Mom amnesia, as much as I get it, and it was kind of like a way to nerve her down so where it wouldn't get too chaotic and too ridiculous early in terms of trying to take down Big Mom. I feel like it overstayed its welcome and it really shouldn't have been introduced all that much. And switching over to the manga side of things, the paneling in this arc was not good at all. Maybe it's because Oda's getting up there in age. Maybe, it's getting a little too much for him. But I have to say the paneling was just not enjoyable, especially for a lot of those double page spreads. It was too much happening on one page. Kinemon's fake out death, of course, One Piece is notorious for doing fake out deaths. This one is up there with one of the worst ones, especially with Kinemon and the rest of the Akazaya 9. Honestly, if they all got off right there, or at least not all of them, maybe like a couple survived, I'd have been cool with. But after a while, I feel like they should have been done with after the fight with Kaido, which then leads into everything with Kanjuro. Kanjuro's stuff was not good in my opinion. I don't know if anybody was big on that character. Even the betrayal didn't really hit me. If anything, it kind of annoyed me because I knew what it was going to lead to. I wasn't ever really invested in that character. And then it just felt like things were dragged on way too much post the Kaido fight because he was disguising himself as Odin, which is like, come on, Odin literally died in front of y'all's face. Why are you falling for this? It was just kind of whatever for me. I wish I didn't have to watch most of that or read it, but it is what it is. Now, I could just say for most of these big One Piece arcs, sometimes it's just too many side plots that's going on at once and it kind of drags the whole overall arc down in general. And this one does get affected by that. Now, on to the good stuff. I do think Luffy versus Kaido, for as long as that took, was actually a pretty decent fight, especially the last stretch of it. It was the best parts of the whole Luffy versus Kaido dynamic. I think Oda did a good job at showing just how much of a struggle it is just to beat Kaido and even just to land some actual damage on him because he's the most durable thing probably in the series that's actually durable and doesn't have like some gimmick to it. He's just kind of built like that. And of course you get the One Piece Luffy special where they're trying to free the island from the antagonist, and you do get that with Luffy freeing Wano from Kaido, which, I mean, clean water, food, and ending slavery. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will vote for Luffy to be president or something. Also, the anime killed it, especially on the last couple episodes of Luffy versus Kaido. I think they did a great job at detailing Gear 5. I do like Gear 5. Easily the best transformation for Luffy, probably the best transformation in One Piece. I don't think it's one of the greatest of all time. It's definitely one of the most iconic in terms of popularity, especially in nowadays. But I'm gonna have to hold off on the whole better than Super Saiyan thing that was going on. I know that was kind of crazy, but I'm chill on that. Everything with Odin, it was actually amazing. Oda did a damn good job with Odin for a character that is actually dead. Given the backstory, why the Akazaya 9 look up to him so much, why Odin means so much to this arc in general, killed it. Big Mom versus Law and Kid. I primarily watched this one in the anime first before I read it for some reason, but watching it in the anime, that was top tier. That was the best Kid ever looked, and that was the best Law ever looked. So, hey, both fandoms won. Fandom of Law and Kid. I'm on the Law side because I'm kind of done with him. And then we kind of had this outlier in Yamato. I don't know if it's kind of like mixed opinions on the character itself or anything that's narrative-wise that's surrounding the character that's kind of become controversial. I think it's because of the whole gender thing. I don't really give a damn about any of that. But the character itself, I do like what Yamato is. I just think the execution of Yamato could have been much better, especially with the whole trying to be Odin thing and she thinks he's a woman or something like that, or a man. I feel like that could have been executed a little bit better. And then for some reason when Yamato's fighting Kaido, I just didn't feel it. It felt like, okay, this is supposed to happen, I get it, but it didn't really resonate with me too much. Although the Zoan Fruit transformation is one of the best in the series. I love that transformation. And I already stated it earlier, my favorite thing of this entire arc was Zoro season. Zoro from the beginning of the arc where he's kind of exploring Wano, they're learning about, and then he's kind of like the reincarnation of Ushimaru, I'm guessing. They damn near look related, but I'm pretty sure that's just how it was supposed to look. Him getting Enma was badass, the fight with Killer, that was a Toei killed that whole episode. I was just in awe. Got a little bit of his other bloodline origins in Wano, of course. I feel like we all saw that coming because it's the land of the swordsman, so of course Zoro's gonna be highlighted heavily. And then of course the fight with King was just, that was one of the best moments in anime for 2023 by far. Then some other stuff I like was just Wano itself, of course very Japanese influenced. You got some of the origins of the Sea Prism Stone being there, the ninjas, the dragons, all the samurai and that stuff. It's where multiple weapons were created and originated from in general, kind of like the War Island itself. World building for One Piece, of course, is top notch. Sanji and the raid suit, enjoyed that. I'm always gonna think of those as like Power Rangers or something. And his having a stealth aspect of being able to go invisible, well, obviously we've seen he has his other desires or needs to do with that suit. But in battle, it's gonna be pretty badass to see how far he can actually gonna use that thing. And his fight with Queen was actually pretty cool too. I felt honestly that Queen made up for King in terms of charisma, because Queen had a lot of moments where he was just funny, hilarious. Wanted to see more of him going forward. So Kaido and his men, his two right hand men, I gotta say, definitely deliver. But I'm gonna have to give this arc on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll probably give it like a cool 8. I don't think I can go anything higher than that. Not one of the best arcs, but definitely not one of the worst, especially for the post-time skip. I still feel like pre-time skip is delivered in terms of quality much more than post-time skip. And now I'm on to the current arc, which I believe is called the Egghead Island arc, the island of the future. All presentation and where this is going, I'm liking the whole futuristic aspect we got, especially with the clothes that the triads are wearing. Some hit or miss, some just basically half naked. But I will say something about the Straw Hats going to a new island every time. I just get that feeling of I'm in for a new adventure, a new story. So I'm always open as to wherever they're going. Even something like Thriller Bark. I wasn't the biggest fan of Thriller Bark, but I'll be lying if I said that I wasn't interested as hell to see what Thriller Bark was all about and actually who we're gonna fight, who we're gonna go up against. So Oda is always gonna nail the introduction of an island. And I'm finally gonna learn about Vegapunk, and apparently there's multiple Vegapunks, almost Pain-esque in terms of all 6 Vegapunks going around. So probably gonna figure out which one is the real one. Feel like it's gonna be pretty obvious which one is going to be the real one. And it seems that Bonnie is going to have a pivotal role in this. Very curious as to what that could lead to. This is a worst generation, and actually I never expected to get that much attention, actually getting that. So that will be interesting. And I have heard that this arc is highly praised. I think everybody talks about this arc and they're saying like it's best in the post-time skip. They say it's the best, one of the best One Piece arcs in general. So I'm locked in as to seeing what is going to be delivered upon me with Egghead Island. I did, however, get up until the Law versus Blackbeard fight. That was some gas. Toei delivered yet again. I don't care what nobody says. Toei recently has been delivering with the One Piece anime when it at least comes to the fights and when they can kind of pace it right. Because I'm loving the sense of urgency that I felt through Law's fight with Blackbeard, because it felt like, hey, if I don't finish him off or at least try to stall him, I'm done. I'm dead. He's trying to get rid of the other Blackbeard pirates with their ship. The Heart pirates are actually doing something and actually helping Law in a battle, which is I'm all for, because Law's been pretty much solo dolo and it's a lot. So that's already a great starting point. We're gonna see what this mystery is on the Egghead Island. I'm all gears, like I said, locked in for this. Hopefully it delivers. I don't know if I'm whenever I have another One Piece joint, maybe after Egghead Island finishes. I don't know, maybe if I'm so invested and I'll read it in the manga. We'll see. But the next upcoming videos are gonna be kind of, we'll just say sporadic in terms of how I'm gonna label them, because it's not gonna be a direct anime related to it. You'll see, it's very cool. Also, the game today is still a work in progress because technical difficulties are on this side, and that's definitely what is stalling your boy. But I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Peace.